Hi people, Chilli here from Live Listen Erased, and I'm just bringing you a quick news update. This might be a one-off, it might be ongoing, but it just depends. It's just in regards to Neil Young fans who have woken up today and gone, holy shit, where's his catalogue on Spotify? It's basically, Neil Young has asked Spotify to remove his music in protest to Joe Rogan in regards to basically Joe Rogan's misinformation on COVID. So Neil Young has reached out to Spotify, said, alright, if you're not going to pull down Joe Rogan, I want you to remove my music from Spotify. And that's why the only album that's up there to my knowledge is 13, and I think one or two of his singles, but none of his big stuff is up there at the moment, or as of this recording anyway. And this can work to a degree for Neil Young fans. I mean, if you're a Neil Young fan, first of all, you're probably, nothing new here. You know where he stands politically. If you don't, well, this is him. He's a very political fellow, and he does this from time to time, where he comes out and says some things to this degree. This could work in the regards of protesting against Spotify if he can manage to speak to a few other artists and get them to take their music down from Spotify, as long as they agree, of course, with his politics. Now, I don't give a shit about Joe Rogan's politics. He has his views and I don't care. I don't listen to his show. Sometimes his podcasts run for 3 hours and I just don't have the time to sit there and listen to an entire podcast of his. I barely have time to listen to a half-hour podcast these days. That's why I made 5-minute reviews, because it's short and it's to the point. I think my fans will enjoy how concise I can try and make my material. I would always be welcome to any feedback anyone has. Oh, and a side note here, I've also got a photo up right now for those who are watching the video, but it's a image of a Neil Young album flowchart. Now, if you're not familiar with how the flowcharts work, it's basically a way that you would pick how to listen to Neil Young's catalogue. I just made this as a bit of fun a couple of weeks ago, and it seemed like now is the perfect time to bring it out into the public, of course, and just a bit of fun, of course, for Neil Young fans. So please take the time, have a look at this image. I will keep it up for a little while here, and as well as that, I'll keep it on the Instagram page. And also would love to hear your feedback in regards to this flowchart. See if you agree with it. See if you don't, let me know. But that's regardless of the point. So Neil Young has, of course, removed his stuff from Spotify because of the misinformation Joe Rogan spreads on his podcast. Whether it is or not, up to you. Now, like I was saying, it can work if he speaks with a few other artists, because at the moment I know that some of the artists are not too happy with the way Spotify has been treating them. So if Neil Young was to reach out to a few artists and speak to them, he could definitely swing a few more people his way in regards to that movement, as well as possibly extended movement in regards to equal rights, or more pay, I should say, for the artists. Because Spotify does have a funny system, and, well, let's face it, it's not balanced enough for the artist. It's hard to do it anyway, regarding a subscription fee where you're only paying a couple of bucks versus if you were buying albums, of course. The whole system, then again, has never been set up in a way to benefit the artist entirely. Someone's always got to have a cut. But in regards to streaming these days, well, most of that cut seems to go to the Spotify people instead of the artists. And that's why I remember reading an interview with Deftones. They said they've got to be touring 3/4 of the year or they're just not making money. That's kind of the market that we are in. We're in a funny new world with musicians, and it's an odd market. It's an odd place to be in. Back in the day, people, they could just record an album, sell it, and make millions. They could get platinum albums and almost retire off a one-hit wonder. But now, if you get a one-hit wonder, yeah, you might cash out on a one-hit wonder. But at the end of the day, it's not the money that, Led Zeppelin or the Beatles were making when they sold platinum albums. No, it's a different kind of money. You got to back it up with a tour. Anyway, that's my short little blurb for the day. For those who were just confused enough about Neil Young and why his music is gone, that is the reason. And hey, while you're at it, please let me know as well if you're interested in my thoughts regarding the music industry and the whole new direction that it's been taking. I could interview a few musicians who are, fresh to the field, and we could make a whole couple series even out of it. Let me know below if you want to hear my opinion regarding this matter. What's your thoughts on the whole Neil Young saga? Or just tell me, just discuss down below. What do you think? As always, I hope you have a great day, and thank you for listening. If you have liked this, subscribe. We've got videos coming out every Friday. Tomorrow we've got 2 videos. Join us on our social media at Live Listen Erased. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay spicy, everyone.